So here are the boards that I've built for the remote control thus far. The original design that I had in mind, that I was going to make something modular, so there was going to be an input on one side and output on the other that would pass data down to further boards, and this would allow for an unlimited number of input and output boards. I designed the joystick control as a T off that, but what I hadn't taken into account was that a T doesn't necessarily allow for a linear pass-through from one side to the other. So there's a slight fundamental flaw in the design, but what I have here is the microcontroller itself, and obviously this won't have the USB connection, this will be standalone with just power, and this is the start of the chain, and effectively it's a daisy chain. And then I built myself I'll call it a T connector, but really there is input from this side and there is output from this side and output from this side, and they have wires going to each connection. And what this allows me to do is that I can plug the joystick in this way, or I can plug the joystick in that way. And similarly, this joystick can plug into here, so that if I just need a joystick and a microcontroller, then I have that module. Now what I've also put together is the wireless transceiver. Now this is a slightly different version of the transceiver that I used for the clock, in that it actually has a long-range aerial, so antenna as we call it in America. This will allow for longer range, and I'll have just a regular transceiver in the receiving module. And again, I have connectors on either side, and at the moment it's just soldered up as the wireless transceiver. I haven't configured it for any kind of pass-through, but again, I can put the transceiver in this connector, and also in the microcontroller connector as well. So I've got some options on the configuration that I need, and it's also going to be useful to change things around, but it does dictate the shape of any container or box that I build for this set of modules. And right now it's really going to be in this T kind of configuration here, with the joysticks at the bottom so that you can actually hold on to them, and then the transceiver to one side with the antenna sticking out. But so far I'm quite pleased. I've plugged and unplugged these things several times, and it all seems to be working for what I needed to do. Next step, now that I have a working transceiver, is to write up some code to transmit some commands, and then I also have the receiver on the Roombaduino that should receive those commands and turn them into Roomba serial commands. Watch this space.